Hey guys, it's Keandra Jackson here. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist in the state of California, and couples actually pay me money to give them tools, resources, and actionable steps they need to have a healthy, long-lasting relationship. So I wanted to talk to you guys real briefly. Someone asked me the other day, why is there such a high divorce rate? Why is it that marriages and relationships are not working out? And so my answer to that question was, I don't think there's anything on the planet that can or has prepared us enough to step into the realm of marriage. When we are growing up, when we're growing up, like it's definitely something that you're not like, it's not instilled in you to like, well, one day, like you're going to be able to share your every waking moment with this person, and one day you're going to share your finances, and one day you're going to have to do this and do that. I don't think that we prepare ourselves or prepare our children for what's ahead, because we go by what's on TV, right? And we're like, oh my goodness, it's a lovely Disney movie, and they lived happily ever after, and they kissed at the end, and their life was perfect. And you get married and you realize real quickly, or you get into a relationship, you realize real quickly, like, this isn't always peaches and roses and fun stuff all the time. And so we have to understand that when we get married, or when we get into a committed relationship, we have to get into that relationship because we want to have a successful relationship. And a lot of times people just marry, or they get into a relationship because they're lonely, because, this person can help them become financially stable, for so many ridiculous reasons, because we had a baby with someone, and so we think that's the right thing to do, and so we marry them. And no shade to anybody who has done any of those things, but a lot of the times when we just jump into stuff because we think that's the right thing to do, it's not always the right thing to do, because ultimately sometimes you may be marrying the wrong person. Yep, I said it. I said it. You may be marrying the wrong person. And you spent all of this time, you spent your money, you spent your resources, you spent your time, you've had children with this person for someone who you wasn't even supposed to be with in the first place. And that's kind of like a sobering reality. It really is, because it's like, oh my goodness, this is not something that I probably should have done. And on top of that, I feel like we don't prepare ourselves enough for marriage, right? I go on my spiel all the time about how I feel like we focus more on the wedding than the marriage. But we really need to start focusing on the marriage. Think about it, the divorce rate is ridiculously high. I mean, we're like pushing 60. Even in the church, it's higher than that. I mean, like, you wouldn't even believe the numbers and the stats in regards to it. So what are we doing wrong? We're not preparing enough for it. We're not preparing enough for it because we just go by these feelings, right? Oh, I love him. Oh, I love her. And I'm just going to get married to them. Who cares about our core values? Who cares about how we're going to raise our children? Who cares about where we're going to live? Who cares about the jobs we're going to have? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? And then when those monumental moments come, we care, right? And we're thinking, oh my goodness, I should have talked to this person about this before. And that's why I stress premarital counseling on so many levels, because you don't want to spend all your time, your resources, your money, and everything else to get into a relationship and get into a marriage where it's not what you thought it was going to be, because you didn't even have a simple conversation of like, wow, do you want kids? Wow, what's your spiritual makeup? Wow, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are gender expectations? Do you expect me to cook every day when I work a full-time job? Like, I mean, just so many like basic conversations that you can have. And it really helps you prepare to go the long haul. I had a friend call me the other day who, unfortunately, that person's relationship did not work out. And he called me and talked to me about it. And the first thing he said was, man, Key, you are right. And I was like, right about what? And this person was just like, everything that you told me was right on point. I should have listened to you. And not to toot my own horn, but dude, I do this for a living. Like, I see couples, like I help them have healthy relationships. So when I see red flags, when I see things that are inaccurate, of course I'm gonna tell you so you can be up on game. Whether you choose to listen, that's a whole nother ball game. And so I want you guys to understand this concept. Don't marry just because you have butterflies in your stomach and you think he cute or you think she cute and she got a bad body and oh my God, this and that. Child, bye. Beauty is fleeting, honey. And that basically means that when you get up in age and you know her body is not as banging and she got a little bit of sagginess and a little bit of wrinkles here and a little bit of wrinkles there, and that six-pack that he had is no longer existing, will you still love that person? Love is an action word. You gotta put in work for this. I seen a post, actually one of my friends tagged me in it, and it was a video, and this lady was talking about how she feels like we marry people to build, not because we love them initially. And so she talked about this whole, she went into this whole rant of how, yes, you definitely want to love your partner and all of that stuff, but you marry because you see yourself building with this person, building wealth, building children, building legacy, building just so much stuff. So it's not just about this, oh my God, I love him and we're going to spend happily ever after together and we're going to travel the world and we're going to do all this, we're going to do all this, we're going to do all this. But it was just like, dude, do you really like who the other person is? Do you really feel like this is a person that you can spend the rest of your life with? Do you understand? That's a sobering reality every waking moment, especially if you're the type of person who said, I do. Death do us part, and understand what that means. We go back on our words so easy when it gets hard, right? When it gets tough, we're like, deuces. I didn't say that before God. I didn't say that before hundreds of people at my wedding. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Now, I'm not saying stay with someone who you shouldn't be with, but I'm just saying we have to hold our own selves accountable. You stood up there and said, to death do us part, sickness and in health. Man, I'm not about to go on this rant. I'm about to get off of here, but I want you guys to understand why relationships are failing and what we need to do to get back on track. Does that mean really getting that premarital counseling and understanding what marriage is before we say I do, and not have this facade of just because I'm lonely or just because no one wants me or just because I want that flashy ring that I'm gonna go ahead and do it? That's not gonna keep it. I give you a little while, but afterwards you're gonna be like, yeah, this isn't working out like I thought it would be. Of course not, because you went into it with the wrong perspective. So I want you guys to just make sure that you are having healthy relationships and making sure that you're going into it with the right intentions. If you're someone who knows, like, you know what, Keandra, everything that I just mentioned and just said, that's me. And I know I need some help in some other areas, or me and my partner want to make sure that we're on the right track, whether we are pre-marriage, premarital, whether we're newlyweds, whether we have a 7-year itch, whether we've been married for forever, whatever camp you find yourself in, you always can, have a tune-up. You always can definitely better your relationship. No relationship is perfect. So if you're like, man, I need to get on top of my stuff, or I need a little tune-up, or we need to work on some things, give me a call. Visit my website, kwcouplestherapy.com, if you are in the Los Angeles area. I am still accepting new clients. Again, that's www.kwcouplestherapy.com. And until next time, you guys have a blessed day.